Hello, it's Big Cheds, and this is part of the daily education series on my YouTube at Cheds Trading. You can also find me, of course, on Twitter at Big Cheds and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about a HnS or a head and shoulders pattern. Now, there's many different things, nuances to this. One thing you want to keep in mind is essentially you have an initial thrust up, you have a second thrust higher, and then a third thrust with a lower high to the head. So we have shoulder, head, shoulder, and then you have a neck base or a neckline. And with the head and shoulders, the two most important things are where does it trigger, which would be on the neck base line. The pattern only triggers, like any pattern, once it completes. And then the invalidation, which would be the right shoulder. So if you're a bear and you think a head and shoulders is forming, you must take note when the right shoulder fails, because that would be a long signal. Any type of pattern that invalidates is a signal in the opposite direction. Now, in the ideal construction of the head and shoulders, you have the most volume on that first thrust, a little bit less volume on the head, and then even less volume on the right shoulder. Then this volume trend will break, ideally with volume on the breakdown. Again, you want to make sure you wait till the pattern either completes or the pattern invalidates. There's many variations to this. You can have a head and shoulders. You could have it with a neck baseline that is ascending. You could have it with a descending neck baseline. It really depends on the exact construction. In my view, the best construction, the easiest to play, is a simple horizontal neck base line. You can also have something like a multiple shoulders and head. So in this case, you'd have two left shoulders, right? One head and a right shoulder. This could be called either a wide left and narrow right head and shoulders or a head and shoulders complex. So there's many different minor variations and things you want to look for ideal construction. The easiest to play is a simple horizontal neck base line where you play either the invalidation on the right shoulder or you play the completion on the neck base break, with ideally the most volume on the left, first thrust, a little bit less on the head, and even less volume on that right thrust. That is the head and shoulders. And this is part of the daily education series on my YouTube channel at Cheds Trading. Catch me on Twitter at Big Cheds, and of course, Bitcoin Live, where I am a founding analyst. Folks, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Big Cheds out.